AskReddit by Single Bandicoot 761. What, in your opinion, constitutes wasting one's 20s? Living like a depressed hermit. Yup. It's done a severe number on my mental health. Marrying the wrong girl. Who the fuck are you, lady? Where's Maya? Doing the same thing you were doing in your teens and not progressing in life, socially or professionally. Coach Woods put me in fourth quarter, we Wilder made it to state. Entering one's 30s still caring so much about what other people wanted for your life and what other people think of your life. Being afraid to make mistakes. The 20s are a wonderful time to make mistakes so long as those mistakes are born from trying to better yourself as opposed to just feeling good. Partly disagree. Your 20s is also the perfect time to make some mistakes just for the reason of feeling good. Living a life you are uncomfortable with. It's tricky nuanced though. When looking back at what events moments in life made me successful today, it's the situations where I chose to make myself uncomfortable. Comfort can encourage complacency. Beware. Scrolling through Reddit. Social media. It's such a time waster. If you scroll endlessly, drop the phone and get back to your goal. Not spending any of it growing, maturing, and understanding yourself from the conscious to the unconscious layers. It's the first period of one's life where you gain a high sense of self-awareness, and thus that prefrontal cortex should be utilized. There are many ways to do your 20s, but you should exit them with some combination of more love, more wealth, more knowledge, and/or more happy memories than you entered them with. Not making any progress, or backsliding, in all of those categories is to waste a decade. I did an arts degree. I did one and it was the best thing I ever did. No doing anything to improve her quality of life financially for the future. Or not having any fun. Both can be considered legitimate ways you wasted her 20s. Staying in a toxic relationship. In my view, wasting your 20s happens when you don't pursue personal growth, neglect to explore new experiences, or fail to invest in relationships and your own well-being. Not doing something when worst consequence is shame. I can understand avoiding physical harm, addiction or debt, but when the worst possible outcome is just making a fool of yourself, then just do it if you wanna. Not investing anything for retirement. Even if it's just a little bit, compounding returns do a lot of heavy lifting when you do it early. Absolutely this. I think I'm ahead of most people my age, but I wish I had started much earlier. Heavy drinking. Not only are you wasting your 20s when you could be doing something way more fulfilling, productive, non-destructive, you are potentially setting the rest of your life up for failure. You could be setting yourself up for alcoholism and ruining decades of your life. Alcohol is also a group 1 carcinogen, so depending on how much drinking you do, it could massively come back to haunt you in your 40s and 50s. Nothing. Your 20s are for fucking up and figuring out yourself. The waste is if you get through your 20s and haven't figured yourself out. Getting married too young, especially if it's quickly followed up with a child. That's not to say marriage or parenthood are a wasteful way to live. But you will appreciate taking the time to really go out and live more when you're young, fit, and have the energy, than when you're old, rusty, and tired. You're also, more than I think most decades of your adult life, going to have the biggest changes to your personality and interests from your 20s to your 30s. And that sort of stuff affects your romantic relationships a lot. On the contrary, don't wait too long to have kids if you want to be active with your kids. You don't want to be old, rusty and trying to keep up with your toddler, child or teen. Not figuring out who you want to be in your 30s. Working selflessly for others you don't care about, or pretty much in general. No personal growth. If you turn 30 and still feel like the same person you were at 20, you did something wrong. That's true for any decade in life. If you're not growing and changing and learning as you go, and if you have no motivation to be better than past you, you're not living. The specifics don't matter. Spending it smoking weed and playing video games with no growth at all in your professional life, love life, any skills whatsoever, and living at home. Feeling like you need to get serious and prepare for the future in a way that distracts you from enjoying life. Might get downvoted, but oh well. Putting your life on hold for a relationship, getting married super young. You change a lot in your early to mid 20s. Do the shit you want to do. Figure out who you are and who you want to be before adding a lifetime commitment to someone. I'm not going to downvote you, but I figured out who I was and who I wanted to be with the help of my wife. We started dating at age 22 and got married in our mid 20s, and I wouldn't change a second of it. We are now in our 50s and still happy and have had happy lives. Maybe trying to force yourself into relationships is a mistake, but if you meet someone you totally click with early, it definitely is not a waste to be in a relationship with them. Refusing to explore the world, avoiding people, being difficult to people around you.